how your $1,400 third stimulus check package not only will become a law next week, as early as next week, but why packages, the fourth, fifth, and sixth stimulus items that are issued at the moment, will be really, really tense. While the third stimulus package seemed to have been a cakewalk on getting support, a new report out tonight suggests that any further stimulus, whether it's a package, meaning a bill that has a lot of stuff in it, or a standalone bill, may not be as smooth walking across the board. If you did not watch the video before this, on that video I explained to you that the $1,400 third stimulus check and third stimulus package will be passed by the House of Representatives on Friday. Also on Friday, the Senate parliamentarian will make the determination about the $15 minimum wage and whether it stays in there or not before the bill even lands in the Senate, saving us weeks of time. And as early as next week, we could have a $1,400 third stimulus check bill as law. So when will the items get to you? And why should you be focused on getting money, big money right now? Thank you, Tim, for becoming a Purple Hawk. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get that money right now. Not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now, but right now. This is Purple, and this is Evenings Light. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk or Purple Power, Calcino VIP. In this recording, I'm going to go over the shocking new report out tonight that talks about where stimulus relief will be reached in the future because of a very tight Democratic caucus. Then I'll be cutting over to Purple and show you how you can get big money right now. Let's get to the details tonight. The Democrats control 50 seats of the Senate, and despite that 50 seats hold, they will pass the third stimulus package bill. Thank you, Jenny, for the super chat. The Senate will get the third stimulus package bill on Monday, and they will pass it. That is an issue of finality. But the question is, how close is this battleground? What's going into tonight's shocking report from Politico is details that says that Senator Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, Democrats from West Virginia and Arizona, may look like they're the two, people causing confusion among the caucus, but the report shows that there's a lot bigger concerns. These two people are rarely telling Democrat caucus leaders what their thoughts are on stimulus until right before it happens. But Senator Debbie Stabenow, who's a Democrat from Michigan, who serves on Chuck Schumer's leadership team, says we have to have every single person voting in agreement. We have a very diverse set of people that represent very small states to very big states. As Senator Majority Whip Dick Durbin from Democrat out of Illinois said tonight, in a 50-50 Senate, anyone can pick a fight. Now, under the third stimulus package, you're getting a $1,400 stimulus check if you're an individual, $1,400 if you're a child, adult dependents, $1,400. You're getting FPUC, UI, PUA extended from March to August at $400 a week for FPUC. PEUC is extended as well. You can have rent assistance, food assistance, utility assistance, mortgage assistance. You can have $3,600 for a child 6 years, 5 years or younger. You can have $3,000 for a child 17 to 6. You'll have $1,500 if you're a hazard pay worker made less than $25,000. You'll also have $1,400 a week for paid sick leave if you suffer that. And you'll have a $5,000 EIDL grant for a business owner who had less than 10 employees and a 50% decrease. But as you sit here, thank you, Tukey, for the super chat. But as you sit here wondering, how did I say that in one breath? I don't know how I said that in one breath. You're sitting here wondering, well, what about other standalone bills? What could happen with those? Let me go over these details. A new report says that, in the past, what they've done is the Democrats have had Susan Collins, a Republican out of Maine, as sort of the backup quarterback. Thank you, Camila. Thank you for becoming part of this family. How are you? Everyone welcome Camila to the family. And the... Oh, Something flying on my script. A new report says that Susan Collins was always sort of the backup quarterback for the Democrats. If they knew they're going to lose a vote among the 50, they could always rely upon Susan Collins, a Republican, to pick up to pick up the missing vote. But that's not a reliable item anymore. Why? Because Chuck Schumer burned some bridges. Hey, Tukey, thank you for the super chat. Chuck Schumer burned some bridges with Collins when he tried to oust her for Maine's 2020 race. That was the first thing. And how many contacts has the president had with Susan Collins? Not a lot. I've tried talking to the president 4 times since the election. He called me. I talked to the legislative director, Louisa Terrell, and I talked to a host of Democratic senators as well. I've had no one in the White House call me about a nominee. A little bit extenuated. A little bit extenuated. Schumer and Biden have been speaking with Manchin, but the real issue is what's going on with things other than that. As Senator Majority Whip Dick Durbin says, in a 50-50 Senate, anyone can pick a fight. That's how close it is. Roy Blount, a Republican out of Missouri, says the Democrats are about to find out how hard it is to keep a 50-50 Senate. What does this mean? It means that when they're looking at the third stimulus package, it's going to pass. It's not a question of will it will pass. But when we're thinking about standalone bills after this, $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness standalone bill currently in the Senate, or the teachers standalone bill about to be written, or the SSI and SSDI potential bill, or the infrastructure bill, could they muster up the 50 votes, or are they going to lose a Sinema or a Manchin or someone else or someone else in the Democrat caucus that they got to find someone in the Republican caucus to pick up? The problem is being compounded by something else. A new report says that normally Democrats would have the ability to have caucus meetings. That's when they actually meet face to face. But because of the pandemic, the ability to communicate with fellow senators has been very difficult because they don't want to have them all in the one room. Chuck Schumer has been maintaining a furious pace of group Zoom meetings one-on-one to ensure that he gets his caucus lined up. And what's hysterical about the situation is that Stabenow, Schumer's supporter, says that Chuck Schumer is working 48 hours a day to ensure that Democrats are aligned and together to get stimulus and other items out. But when it comes to the President of the United States, he's not doing it. Wow. More about that in a second. If you just join me on Evenings LLA, this is the second part of a doubleheader. In the video before this, I explained that under the third stimulus package, you're getting a $1,400 stimulus check. Well, the great news tonight is that the bill is going to be becoming law. The bill will be voted upon in the House of Representatives this Friday and will pass. It will then go to the Senate on Monday. And by the time it lands in the Senate, the parliamentarian will have already decided the fate of the $15 minimum wage. The president does not want to fight over it. He said he's willing to accept the determination and move on. And moving on to the Senate is where it will be. And the vote in the Senate will not be delayed by any Senate subcommittees because those won't be happening. Unbeknownst to anyone that we knew, they've been working on it for the last 2 weeks. So the bill, when it lands in the Senate, will become law because this is where the path is heading. The question is what date the vote will happen and what date that vote will be next week. It could be the early part of the week. Based upon 2020's second stimulus package, Steve Mnuchin was able to start sending out checks about 3 business days after it became law. If that's the case, potentially, potentially you could see this sending out a stimulus check to some viewers as early as next week. But what is the president doing? More about that in a second. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Uh, no one is keeping you more up to date across the board. It's important that you don't miss a video, and it's important that you see how fast things are going. You may have thought things were moving slowly maybe a few weeks ago. Now they're zooming to the finish line. The tow truck with the tow hitch is at the finish line. It's about to cross over. And when it crosses over, it's too late to learn about things. You need to know already what's in the third stimulus, the $1,400 third stimulus check package, ahead of time. So that when you get it, when it becomes law, you know, I want to get this, 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 and this. I know that I'm eligible for this. I have the paperwork ready for this, and I have the paperwork ready for that. You don't want to just say, I want something. You need to know how to get it. As a member, you'll have access to the actual bill. It's not particularly long. It starts with a table of contents. And so you, for example, can flip to the homeowners assistance section that says, oh, this is how we're going to do the homeowners grant. You read in there what you need to have happen to you, what you need for the eligibility, and what general documents you'll need to have. It's too late to learn about this information after the fact, because if you learn after the fact, then the money may not be there. In July of last year, when this channel was getting $25 million for people for EIDL, at that time, EIDL grants were reopening while we were getting the loans. The grants opened on a Monday. By Thursday, the grants were gone. Can you imagine? Open on a Monday, and by Thursday, they were gone. So there we go. All right, so now, with that, let's turn over to what else the president's doing. Not a lot. The report says that the White House has relied upon Chuck Schumer to keep the Democratic caucus in line for getting out stimulus, and that the president is not much of a confrontational person. One senior Democrat close to the White House ultimately said it's up to Schumer to keep the caucus, the Democratic caucus, together and find compromise. Joe Biden's style is more soft cajoling than in-your-face arm twisting. This Democrat noted Biden's not going to terrorize Joe Manchin. That's what the new report says from Politico tonight. So what was Joe Biden doing today? He was working on chips. He issued an executive order today about chips for you. You're getting some chips from the president. He signed an executive order for some chips. I'm sure the optics on that are so good. Oh Lord. Yeah, it says Alma, oh Lord. Yeah, it's just, the optics on that is really good. Moving from stamps to chips. He's sending out some chips to you. Oh my goodness, says Kim. Yeah. What chips is he doing? Chips Ahoy? Potato chips? Chocolate chip. What type of chips is he doing? He's doing semiconductor chips. Lace chips. Chips with the chocolate. Golly, said chips with the chocolate. He's doing chip bills. He's doing chip executive orders. Dip chip. Pringles. He's doing Pringles. Yeah, he's double dipping on your chips. He's doing chip bills, not those type of chips. What's going on? What I miss? He's doing sour cream and chives. He's doing barbecue and ranch. No, he says there's a shortage of. I can't read the comments when I bring it up. You are just killing it tonight with the comments. He's doing chip and more chip. Yeah, he's doing Chester Chester Cheetah's going to Washington. Chester Cheetah's going to Washington. He's doing sour cream and chives. Yeah, no, he's doing chips for semiconductors. Boring. He's doing chips for semiconductors because there's a shortage of semiconductor chips. So he wants to ensure that if the semiconductor's missing a chip, it gets the chip. So he did an executive order today for semiconductor chips. I'm not making this up. Just not making this up. Fish and chips. Yeah, he's not even doing fish and chips. I mean, children going hungry, fish and chips. You know, he's not even doing fish and chips. It's not Frito-Lay's chips. He's doing semiconductor chips tonight. So there we go. Oh my goodness. Someone said something. I'm not gonna say I don't care, but I saw the comment. Let's turn to some purple. Not 3 days from now, not 5 months from now, not 5 chips from now. I'm going to get you 5, 10, 15,000 chips in this video. The chips are going to fall in this video from purple. The important thing to understand when you're looking at 2021 is that I have been able to refocus the viewers of this channel to not be a check tracker, but a check casher. I don't want you to be spending 2021 tracking the day a check lands in your mailbox. The reason why is very simple. When Steve Mnuchin sent out that second stimulus check in December, and he said it was going to be there in 24 hours, about 100 viewers got it in 24 hours. The rest of us did not get it in 24 hours. We got it in 2 months. And so you cannot be tracking checks from this government because it's untrackable. Rather, what I want you to be doing is cashing checks. Don't be a check tracker, be a check casher. And the way you get things and the way you become more financially stable in 2021, because you're going to be more financially stable, I'm very excited for you, is that you're not going to put your livelihood dependent upon the day in which one check arrives. When I appeared on the face with this channel in April 2020, I already had people who had already set themselves up for themselves. They had already set themselves up to wait to see what day Nancy Pelosi in May was going to deliver them a second stimulus check. And they said, I need that second stimulus check by May 15th. I need it by June 15th. I need it by July 1st. And they were setting themselves up for the delivery of a check on a date. That was before I ever came on the scene. This year, we're doing it differently. You're going to get money when it's available right now so that you don't have to be dependent upon looking for what day some other one single check is in the mail. Moreover, you're not going to put yourself dependent upon one check for your entire financial stability. Your entire financial stability should not be based upon when you're getting one single check from a government that can't send them out on the same day. So what are we doing? We're going back to purple. Under second stimulus, there is a series of items that can get you money right now. Those items are rent, utilities, food, internet. For generally all viewers of this channel, if you're behind on those items, rent is available if you're behind on rent. And it can be generally about 3 to 6 months. If you're behind on utilities, you can get anywhere from about a couple $100s to a few $1,000s. Between rent and utilities, if you're behind on it, you could get somewhere between $5,000 and more. It's usually about a little bit more than $5,000 for 6 months of rent, and then a couple $100s to low $1,000 for the utilities. How do you do it? This is how you do it. Get that pen and paper ready. You first go to your state housing authority, then to your state offices, and you ask, do you have rent assistance because of COVID? You then go to your county housing authority and your county hall and ask, do you have rent assistance because of COVID? Thank you, Tukey, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. You then go to your city hall and your city housing authority and you ask, do you have rent because of COVID? What's important to understand is that it's not an issue of whether it's there, it's an issue of finding where it is. The second stimulus package sent $300 billion to cities, states, and counties across the country. The question is it in the city hall? Is it in the city housing authority? Is it in the city urban league, city urban development housing authority? And ultimately, you got to look a little bit. The best example I can have is in December of 2020, when viewers were not getting yet a second stimulus check, viewers understood they needed to look. I had one viewer in Boston and one viewer in LA. In LA, there was no rent available. And in Boston, there was generally no rent available. The Boston viewer understood what I was saying and looked and kept on pushing so that he ultimately found the rent in an organization of the city operation of Boston that no one would normally look to find it at. He got $15,000. The resident here in Los Angeles understood it wasn't in the county, it was definitely not in the state, it wasn't in the city. Hello from Newton, North Carolina. But he found it in the San Bernardino Housing Authority, of an organization I never even knew existed. There he found it, and he got about $8,000 approximately in rent. That's how you do things. That same month, I had a live chat on this channel, the same show, Purple, and we were talking about utilities, who got utilities that night. And that night, we had 5 people from the county of St. Louis. 5 people from the county of St. Louis, all in the same chat room, all got utilities. You know what's hysterical about the story? All 5 of them got it from 5 different locations. One got it from a church, one got it from a national church organization, one got it from a city organization, and one got it from like a state type organization. They got it all from 5 different locations. They knew to look, and they found it. It's the looking that's the big issue. You need to start with those 6 places that I say and then move forward. If you're behind on rent, behind on utilities. Next, also on that same piece of paper with that pen, reach out to United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul. They're able to also help find you rent and utilities. They paid rent and utilities for viewers of this channel that were behind on that as well. That continues then with the issue of, well, if I'm still having problems, then what? More about that in a second. It's the community page. Also, you can get food, SNAP. What is SNAP? SNAP is food, and the SNAP is available from the Department of Agriculture. You can get it. It's a lot of money. A family of 4 out of Hawaii is $1,400 a month. Over 12 months, that's $16,000. SNAP could be $10,000 plus if you got a family of 4. It's a lot of money. One message I was telling someone today about SNAP, I got to tell you this as well, is that SNAP, if you have a child that stays home because of the pandemic, because of COVID, because the school is closed, guess what? The schools are reopening. So get that money now. Get the money as much as you can get now because the schools are reopening. Anything for PEBT based upon schools closing, they're not going to be closed very long. So get that money right now. What is SNAP? It is food. It is food. It is money for food. You reach it by contacting Department of Agriculture, 211. You call them up. The eligibility is about $49,000 or less, and it pays money if you're a single person or a married couple or a parent with a child. PEBT is the add-on that is now a national program based upon paying you money if the child's school is closed and they have to stay home because of COVID. Now, as I just said, that situation is going to end really quickly because a lot of schools are opening very, very fast. So PEBT, which is, Biden signed, I don't know, 7 PEBT executive orders since January 20th. A lot of them may be sort of null and void very quickly if all these schools open. But that's why I want you to get the money right now because, the situation could change very quickly. So there you go. From rent, utilities, food, and then there's also internet. You're at about, for a family of four, you could be at about, $15,000 plus. Now, if you've done all that and you've had problems finding rent or utilities, or you've had problems getting mortgage assistance, or an eviction moratorium from the CDC, you're not sure where it is or what the form looks like, reach out to the volunteers. They can be reached in the community page. They're in the description of this video. They're also at the top of the chat. That's news.la.com/community. Tell them what city and state you're from, tell you what you need assistance with, and they'll get back to you shortly. Give them about a day or two, and they'll get back to you with the information. They're getting a lot of requests lately, so give it a little bit of time and they'll get back to you shortly. All right, next, let's continue with more of purple with other money you can get as well. That money is escalated benefits for unemployment. Boy, if you are on unemployment or were on unemployment at any time, you can do this if you made over $18,000. What the concept is based upon is that unemployment generally starts you at the base level in your state of $99 or $100. But if you made more than $30,000, $18,000, you can raise your benefits for each week by showing them a copy of your 2019 tax return. I'll begin. Oh wow, we're at the 26-minute mark. So you can let me cut that short. So you can do that, and then finally you can do an EIDL loan at sba.gov for businesses, and you can also do a PPP, which starts as a loan and turns into a grant. Now with 26-minute on the clock, thank you for reminding me. I'll answer your questions you have about anything. What is SNAP, LLA? SNAP is food, money for food. So it pays about $1,400 for a family of four in Hawaii. You reach out to the Department of Agriculture. And the income qualification is generally about $49,000 or less, 2000 prior tax year earnings, approximately. Every state pays a different amount. There you go. And then there's no comments. And then the screen freezes. And I'm just sort of looking. And they're like, why is she just looking? Because I don't see anything. When is the next stimulus expected to be in our account? Um, we don't track checks here. I track when it becomes law. Is there any chance of the SSI? There's always a chance, absolutely. Not in this bill, but there's always a chance for it. Why are 17? I'm not going to answer a negative question about children. If people are upset about a child, then go complain about a child somewhere else. I'm not answering questions like that. Vivian says Mississippi $234 a month on Social Security on SNAP. Great, that's wonderful, Vivian. Good work. Nisi, thank you for the super chat. I'm getting back pay from May with escalated benefits. I couldn't read, but that was wonderful. Where can will teachers get hazard pay? So essential workers who made less than 25,000 2019 earnings will get $1,500 of hazard pay. My baby brothers, I couldn't see what the comment about the EIDL with the brother, if you can post it again. The internet, reach out to the volunteers that can help you find the internet. What page is mortgage assistance in the bill? It's in the section that covers rent. It's at the bottom. If you look at the table of contents, which is only about 6 pages long, it's at the bottom of like the 4th or 5th page, and it talks about rent, and then it says homeowners assistance, homeowners fund. That's where it is. Would propane be a utility? Absolutely. Call up your propane company if you get it from them as a service. I missed the comment again about the child. Wanting to help my baby brother on an EIDL grant with his new hauling business. So under the third stimulus package, there is an EIDL grant. You have to have already had an existing business, and the business has to have dropped 50% from before. The waiting in the 2020 EIDL grant. So the 2020 EIDL grant is being paid. It is being paid to people who are low income based community businesses first, and then everyone else. I've heard people in both groups get contacted already to get the remainder of the $10,000 EIDL grant. Can you get mortgage assistance even if you're not late? Not under the third stimulus package as far as I read it, but you can take a look at yourself. I'm not behind on my rent. So under third stimulus, it requires you, as I read it, to be behind on items. Under second stimulus and nonprofit, it just depends. It just depends. Some require you to be behind, some don't require you to be behind. If I missed your comment, repost again because there's like a surge of three going. How do I get a copy of the bill? Dorothy, you're a member of this channel. So every day I repost to the members of this channel the PDFs. It's currently the second PDF on the daily post. I'll post it again after this video is done in about 10 minutes for all members of the channel. When do you think we'll have the $1,400? I don't track checks, so there's no way. The reason why I can't track it is very simple. Steve Mnuchin last time sent them out on, I don't know, it was like a Wednesday. Some people had it Wednesday night. Other people got it 2 months later. So how could I predict that? It's absolutely unable to be predicted because there's something going wrong with IRS is sending out checks where one people get in one day and some people get 2 months later. There's literally no way to predict it. Will you be able to get third PPP? You will. Um, it's actually, I think, the fifth one now. But yeah, there is a third PPP in that in the third stimulus package. Is I'm formed in forbearance. I don't understand that question. Who do I contact about the 15% increase of SNAP? So the 15% increase of SNAP should be automatic. Now, some states were delayed in doing it. So if your state did not post the 15% increase, call up Department of Agriculture. Department of Agriculture in your state. Ooh, lost you there for a second. I just filed my taxes and updated my new bank account with the IRS. Will the $1,400 land in the new account? Uh, that's a really good question. Maybe. That's the only way they would know about that account. It's a 50-50. It'll either land there, Catalina, it'll either land there or in the mail by paper check or by debit card. Any updates about the EIDL advance? Yeah, so the 2020 is being paid progressively. Some viewers have gotten contact, and there will be a new EIDL grant. There is a new EIDL grant in the third stimulus package. It pays $5,000 if you have less than 10 employees and suffered a 50% decrease in business. And that's sort of the end of the bill. That's sort of towards the very, very end. It's very easy to read. It's only a page long. It's the simplest thing you've ever read, and it pays out in about 14 days. Thank you, I got rent from my son and my mom. Thank you for being here for us. Oh, congratulations, Lynn. I always love reading your comments on air as well. You have the greatest comments. Is hazard pay for restaurant workers actually happening? Not other than that $1,500, not other than that $1,500. And with that, if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you later tonight on the continuation on hazard pay. Hazard pay returns tonight on Overnight to LA at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And join me tomorrow morning on EIDL at 1 a.m. and then FPUC at 2 a.m., followed by early mornings at 3 and 3:30. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and consider becoming a member. Stay informed, stay focused, keep on smiling, and have a great evening. Thank you for tuning in, and stay LA for more.